Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Double murder in Old Harbour, St. Catherine. More than 500 adults sexually assaulted during stay-at-home orders. And later in sports, Leon Bailey returns to the Reggae Boys squad for their World Cup qualifying matches against El Salvador and the USA. I'm Giovanni Dennis and here are the details. The police are now at the scene of a double murder in Old Harbour, St. Catherine. The bodies of two women ages 76 and 69 were found at a house in Spring Village, Old Harbour, about 9 this morning. Their throats were slashed. One of the deceased is a retired teacher and a justice of the peace. Investigators theorize that the women were killed sometime between Saturday and Sunday by intruders. The house was ransacked. Reactions this afternoon to new research from the Northern Caribbean University, which revealed that more than 500 people between the ages 18 and 44 were sexually assaulted during the stay-at-home orders. Lockdowns and stay-at-home orders were imposed by the government as it tried to reduce the spread of COVID-19. Herman Green reports.
A report from the Northern Caribbean University has revealed that more than 500 young Jamaicans were sexually assaulted while complying with stay-at-home orders imposed by the government. Lead researcher at the Northern Caribbean University, Paul Bourne, says 4 in every 10 persons that were interviewed had been assaulted.
But let's go further, and that 84% of them, of those who were sexually assaulted, indicated that they were done by individuals that they know, including father, brother, cousin, pastor, teacher, community members.
Former Deputy Commissioner of Police, Novlet Grant, says she's not surprised that sexual assault ranked high among the negatives of stay-at-home orders. She pointed to a similar report from the United Nations in 2018, which showed that homes were deemed the most dangerous place for women worldwide.
Jamaica also falls within the Caribbean, where the top 10 recorded rape rate is found in the world, while the worldwide average is 15 per 100,000 for rape worldwide. Jamaica has a 51 per 100,000 rape. So it's not surprising.
Mr. Bourne says the majority of the incidents happened either at home or in a vehicle. In the meantime, Deputy Superintendent of Police in charge of crime at the Center for Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse, CISOCA, Radcliffe Gordon, is appealing to persons who have been assaulted to come forward and file a report. He says it does not matter how long ago the incident took place.
Most of the time, we are not able to pursue our investigation because the victims are so traumatized. We have to work with our partner agencies to provide them with counseling before they're able to pursue the matter in terms of giving us statements and having the courage to go through what is necessary in terms of taking the matter through the court system.
The survey was conducted between June and August of this year among 506 young adults across the island. The issues were discussed on the morning agenda on Power 106. Herman Green, TVJ News.
The country's COVID-19 hospitalizations declined in the last 24 hours. On Monday, 236 people were admitted with the respiratory illness, down from Sunday's 256. 12 patients are in critical condition and 27 are moderately ill. There are 28,036 active cases on the island. This after 47 new cases were reported yesterday from 643 test samples. The overall case count stands at 89,170. The positivity rate is 7.7%. 176 more people have recovered from the virus, increasing the overall recovery count to 58,267. Meanwhile, 3 additional people died from COVID-19. The death toll now stands at 2,246. 1 death is under investigation. As schools continue their preparation for face-to-face learning, our news team visited a rural school in Manchester to see their readiness. Cody and Barrett reports.
Bethabra Infant School in Manchester is making its final preparations to ensure its students are ready for face-to-face learning in the pandemic. Among other things, the school now has an isolation room When our news team visited the institution on Sunday, a public health inspector was on site, waiting to give the school the green light to reopen Monday, November 8. For the principal, Claudette Griffiths-McKenzie, she is excited for face-to-face classes to resume. She believes it is crucial for infants at an early stage.
Home is not the place for our infants right now. They should be out. Their development is right here at school. Their holistic development is right here at Bethabra Infant. And we are waiting on them. We're just waiting on them to come in.
While the school is ready to receive students, the chair of the board, Doreen Spence, revealed that there have been some challenges. For example, the school has been without a landline telephone service
Since July. And that has placed an additional burden on the school, especially the principal, because she has to be using her personal telephone. And you know that technology is the only way we can function now.
But despite not having a telephone service, the school is fully ready to welcome students. Cody-Ann Barrett, TVJ News.
And it's now time for a break here on the Midday News, but please stay with us. We'll have much more when you return. Welcome back. We're continuing the news. Residents of Gravel Hill and Rhymesbury in Clarendon are again decrying the poor state of the road in their communities. The disgruntled residents mounted roadblocks on Monday to bring attention to the issue. Cody-Ann Barrett reports.
We are fed up. We are fed up. Fed up of it.
Frustrated because of the poor condition of the road in their communities. That frustration turned into protest action Monday as residents from the Gravel Hill and Rhymesbury communities blocked a section of the road with large trees and other debris.
A lot of parts I have to buy. I drove a taxi also. And I can speak to my fellow citizens them also. It's bad. Tire then, rocking tire. Just name a few things where you know make up car parts. It really stay bad.
Don't you last week my wheel pop off? Eh? Jumping up patrol. We can't work, some man.
It's a blame game. Nobody no want to take up responsibility. Me tired of it, man. We tired of it. We need road. We need road. Eh? Me care new brand care. Chuku.
But their concern is not new. The Rhymesbury Main Road has been at the center of multiple demonstrations over the years by residents seeking a fix. Now it has become a safety issue, and that is why they have gone public with their concerns again.
When you're supposed to go out early, you have to be looking two sides of the road to see if any gunman or anybody want to rob you, because you have to slow down to get through these potholes where it's about 2 feet deep, and not even bicycle can ride on it. Because see, right now me have to leave my bicycle and be walking.
We understand repair work started on the road recently. The repairs were being carried out by Clarendon-based bauxite company Jamalco. The company decided to fix the road after accepting that their units had helped to cause damage to the road while they hauled material in the area.
Jamalco would have started the work. The National Works Agency, on no less than 2 occasions, went and stopped Jamalco from executing the repairs. Jamalco subsequently would have been impacted by an unfortunate incident, that is a fire, that would have damaged the powerhouse at the facility. As a result of the fire, Jamalco is now unable to go ahead with the repairs as was previously indicated within the time frame. However, Jamalco has maintained that they are still committed to executing repairs to the road.
The road was eventually cleared by emergency teams, including the police and the firefighters. The latter group had to use power saws to cut up large trees that were blocking the road. Efforts to get a response from Jamalco and the National Works Agency up to news time were futile. Cody-Ann Barrett, TVJ News.
The family of a 28-year-old nurse is seeking your help to find her. Renice Fletcher of Nurses Residence at the University Hospital of the West Indies has been reported missing since Monday, November 1. It's reported that Miss Fletcher was last seen on Sunday. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, in a post on its official Twitter page, said if she's seen, members of the public should contact the Mona Police Post at 876-837-7192 or call 119 or the nearest police station. Meanwhile, the public's assistance is being sought in locating Romario Gazeja. He was last seen on Friday, October 29 in Bull Bay, St. Andrew. He was wearing a blue shirt and brown pants. He's about 6 feet tall and approximately 150 to 160 pounds. Romario is of brown complexion with a tattoo of his name, Romario, bursting out of a cloud on his chest. If anyone has seen or knows of his whereabouts, they are being asked to contact the nearest police station or Police Emergency 119. And it's now time for the latest financial news. Here's Cody and Barrett.
In business news, the Jamaica Customs Agency saw a rebound in revenue collection for the April to September period. Head of the agency, Wilma Ricketts-Walker, gave details at a recent forum by the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce.
We would have noted a 5% increase in container shipment processed between the now 94% recovery in tax revenue, April to September 2021 collected, and 152.3 billion compared to $161.9 billion in the pre-pandemic period, which is 2019.
And in business internationally, Pfizer reported on Tuesday that earnings and sales more than doubled in the past quarter. The company reported adjusted earnings of $7.7 billion and its revenue soared to $24.1 billion. The vaccine business alone was responsible for more than 60% of the company's sales, as vaccine revenue rose to $14.6 billion from only $1.7 billion a year earlier. The company said its COVID vaccine sales accounted for $13 billion of that revenue. Revenue outside of its COVID vaccine business was up 7%. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Cody Ann Barrett.
And it's now time for the top regional and international stories. Here's Sandy Williams.
In the region, the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, Tuesday joined with the world's other multilateral development banks, MDBs, in a global pledge to further mainstream nature across its policies and operations and to scale up nature finance. The pledge came in the joint statement, Nature, People and Planet, which was endorsed by the heads of 9 MDBs at the ongoing United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP26, in Glasgow, Scotland. CDB President Dr. Jean Leon said the Caribbean is the most vulnerable regions in the world to climate-related hazards. Dr. Leon said the increasing biodiversity loss and degradation of the region's marine and terrestrial ecosystems has exacerbated its vulnerability to climate change and disasters. On the international scene, U.S. President Joe Biden has announced a new initiative to protect forests around the world. He cited the ability of forests to capture carbon and promote biodiversity as reasons to prioritize slowing down deforestation. Biden says his plan will consider the needs of local communities and make sure they are met. And that's the top regional and international stories. I'm Sandy Williams.
And we now head to a quick break, but please stay with us. When we come back, Jordan Fort will have the Midday Sports.
Welcome back. It's now time for Midday Sports. Winger Leon Bailey makes a return to the Reggae Boys squad for their World Cup qualifying matches against El Salvador and the USA later this month. The Aston Villa forward hasn't featured for Jamaica since the start of World Cup qualifying. Bailey was named in the squad for the qualifiers in the September window but didn't report for those matches due to injury. He last played for the Reggae Boys at the CONCACAF Gold Cup in June. 7 other players have returned to the setup after missing out due to a combination of injury or other reasons. Striker Corey Burke, as well as defenders Alvis Powell and Liam Moore, are back from injury. Burke had missed the last 3 World Cup qualifiers in October, while Powell limped off with a leg injury against Canada at the National Stadium on October 10. Moore hasn't played for the national team since the September qualifier against Panama. Ravel Morrison, who wasn't included for the October matches, also makes a return. Michael Antonio, who opted out of the qualifiers in October citing logistical issues, has also been included, while midfielder Lamar Walker and defender Greg Lee have earned recalls. Captain Andre Blake is once again expected to be between the sticks, while Dylan Barnes and Jadine White will be deputizing. Damien Lowe, Adrian Mariappa, O'Neill Fisher and Kemar Lawrence are named as the core of the defence. Javon Watson, Devon Williams and Anthony Grant continue their run in midfield. And Coach Whitmore will have forwards Bobby Reed, Junior Flemings, Kemar Roof, Javon East, Shamar Nicholson and Andre Gray to choose from. There is no place for striker Jamal Lowe, midfielder Tyreek McGee and defender Javane Brown, who were part of the squad in the October window of qualifying matches. The Reggae Boys will next play away to El Salvador on November 12 before hosting the USA on November 16 at the National Stadium. The Jamaicans are lying 6th in the 8-team final round of CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. As anticipated, Tottenham Hotspur have appointed former Chelsea and Inter Milan boss Antonio Conte as their new manager until the summer of 2023. The English Premier League club sacked Nuno Espirito Santo on Monday after just 17 games, with Spurs 8th in the table. Tottenham say there is an option to extend the 52-year-old Conte's deal with them. The Italian returns to London after winning the Premier League in his first season in Chelsea in 2017 and the FA Cup in his second before being sacked in 2018. He then later led Inter Milan to their first Serie A title in 11 years before leaving the club in May. Now, the West Indies' hopes of leaving the group stages of the ICC T20 World Cup took another dent today after South Africa blew away Bangladesh by 6 wickets in Abu Dhabi. Having been sent to bat, Bangladesh were dismissed for just 84 as Mehdi Hassan, 27, Liton Das, 24 and Shamim Hussain, 11 were the only players to get into double figures. Anrik Nortje took 3 for 8 and Kagiso Rabada 3 for 20 for South Africa. Captain Temba Bavuma then made an unbeaten 31 and Rassie van der Dusen 22 to guide South Africa to victory at 86 for 4 with 39 balls remaining. The result sees South Africa move to second in Group 1 on 6 points, 2 behind leaders England, who they'll play in their final preliminary round game. If South Africa win that game, the West Indies will be eliminated regardless of their next 2 results. The Windies play Sri Lanka on Thursday and Australia on Saturday. And the West Indies will know by today whether Englishman Michael Goff will umpire their contest against Sri Lanka on Thursday. Goff will be tested for COVID-19 for a 3rd time today and must return a negative result before he'll be allowed to return to his duties at the ongoing ICC T20 World Cup. Goff was suspended for a 6-day period starting October 28 after a breach of the event's biosecure protocols. The sanction from the ICC came after Goff is understood to have left his hotel without permission and went outside the tournament's bio bubble. He has already missed 1 game as a result, the October 31 fixture between India and New Zealand in Dubai, when South African Murray Erasmus took over for Goff. Now, Goff was subsequently tested for signs of COVID-19 on the 2nd, 4th and 6th days after October 28 and is understood to have returned negative results on the first 2 days. Reigning champions Chelsea, who sit second in Group H, play away to Malmo as the UEFA Champions League resumes today. Juventus, who lead the group, will host Zenit St. Petersburg in other group game. Elsewhere, Manchester United will look to continue winning ways when they play away to Atalanta. United have 6 points and lead Group F with Villarreal, who are second, playing Young Boys in the other group game. Group E leaders Bayern Munich host Benfica, while third place Barcelona seek a win against Dinamo Kiev. In other games, Sevilla and Lille face off and Wolfsburg and RV host RB Salzburg. And that's it for your Midday Sports Report. Giovanni?
Thanks, Jordan, and that's it indeed as well for the Midday News. I'm Giovanni Dennis. Join us at 7 for Primetime News. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, have a good afternoon.